Good evening everyone and welcome to another tournament stream where I'm sure we're gonna have lots of fun because tonight we are following Legion again. Basically we don't have any matches for the first half hour, so I'll be showing you some replays and such, but we're just gonna have fun with it. So overall I've streamed Legion for the past Thursdays 3 or 4 times in a row, including this one. And it's just always been hilarious. They pay homage to the donut on New Bay. We've seen some very troll things happen and it's just been great fun. So I'm actually liking that for the last Ascent tournament of this spring season. I'm going to be following them as well. And let's now take you to my garage. As you can see, like I said, no room invite because we don't have any matches for the first half hour. Which is absolutely fine because it allows me to show you some epic games that I have in the shape of replays. We're just gonna have fun with it, and like I said, it's not really there's not really much pressure right now, not for Legion anyway. They're top 3 right now with the, oh god, sorry, YouTube is being a bit of a bitch. They're in a steady 3rd position right now, and that is definitely a good thing, because that means that they don't really have to worry, even if they were to not qualify today, which is of course not really gonna happen, but even if they didn't, they would still make it into the professionals basically quite easy. So YouTube is not really working with me pretty much. So I'm reloading the page because I kind of want to keep an eye on the chat, because even if there is a 5-minute delay, which there is, so that people can't see each other's lineups, overall I do like to keep an eye on it, answer questions and everything as it happens. But kind of my laptop is like, you need to be patient with it once you start streaming, so I kind of have to wait for YouTube to just work with me here and load the page properly. So sorry about that. You're not seeing that, of course, because you're just seeing it as it is. You're seeing my garage now and the Sheridan basically going back and forth. It is a little bit dodgy. My CPU is having a little bit of trouble with it, looks like. But overall, hopefully things will go as... There we go, that's better. So YouTube is still taking its sweet time to load the page and load the chat. And then it's complaining about, a page is slowing down your browser. No! Really? But yeah, I'll give up on that. That means that that is actually a good idea. I can just put the chat on my phone rather than my browser. It just means that I need to charge my phone, because otherwise it's going to be very, very dead very, very quickly. And there we go. So let's actually quickly take you over the leaderboard as it is. This is the top 8 that we have in the EU right now. APA in a steady first position, Raid second, closely followed by Legion. And then we have EG, of course, Loka, Veil, FBI, and Immor. FBI, of course, a bit controversial after last week, but there it is. And if we continue, because we see that Immor has like 14,650 cups, it would help if it actually loaded. You see a nice loading screen for a white page right now. This is why I mean I need to be like gentle with my laptop at this stage. Right, we'll get back to that when it actually loads. Let me take that away and I'll show you a replay instead. Oh, there we go. It's actually loaded. This is basically you need to look at Souls and Lux Noven, because Wim can still do it as well, but they have a very tough job, and everything depends on what Immor and FBI are going to be doing today and on Saturday. But they're all strong contenders, and there's a lot of really good teams this season around, and it's just been great fun following all of it. So that is basically the top something that we have right now. And as I said, it's still relatively close, but Legion is in a very good position right now, so we don't have to worry about them at all. And that also makes for some relaxing gameplay that we see today. Of course, like I said, the Thursday tournaments are never all that serious, but that is all fine. So let's see, what have I got for you? I actually have a few spaghetti replays. I'm gonna show you one of those. I utterly adore the spaghetti. Let's see. Again, everything loads slowly. That is fine. You just need to be as patient with my laptop as I need to be. Here we go. Rashford in the spaghetti. Of course, it's called a Progetto 65, but spaghetti just sounds so much more nice. And I've actually had a comment recently on my YouTube about that someone likes my streams, but he wished I wouldn't give those tanks all those stupid names. To be fair, he is kind of right, but I enjoy it more. He does not have the legendary camouflage on it. But yeah, can't be perfect. I utterly adore this tank. I love the auto reloading system. It's basically the same kind of thing as with the Supremacy game mode, to me at least, because you need to think more about what you're doing and when you're doing it. You can decide to shoot someone shot for shot, or you can reload basically your whole clip and just clip them. And that's the kind of movements and ways of thinking that I really enjoy about the game. That is why I play Supremacy only. So let's see. They're all heading towards the Citadel. It is not Supremacy, so there's no bases to be kept. And basically we have a medium light train here. STB is of course also a tank I really love. It is one of the sexiest tanks, but it's one of the ugliest legendary camos, for me at least. I don't like it when the camos are pretty boring like that. And the E1 over there is in a very just that clan. Why would you name your clan like that? It's just no. But you can see that he actually really wants Rashford. STB, no, sorry, not the STB. The Sherry has pretty much gone YOLO and might be in big trouble now. Conway has been deleted. The Sheridan is about to follow in the same footsteps, and whereas Rashford is giving him all the spaces, he actually drops down. And that's probably not going to go well for him. We have the Leo from Kraken. Of course, one of the pro players, so he's going to be one to contend with. Now this Leo is making it quite easy. Both teams have lost 2 guns now. But yeah, this is what I mean. He's steadily shooting when he can. And the gun will reload itself repeatedly. And that is exactly what I love about this tank. Because you can decide now whether or not you're going to get that other shot in. Or, oof, nice bounce. Or if you're just going to reload. And in this case, he's choosing to reload at least one more shot before he fires it. And he wants to get another one in as well, but he doesn't. Basically, I'm commentating this pretty much like a tournament match. Not sure if that's a good thing, to be fair. But still. I love this tank because of the new, the way that the gun works and the way that you can choose to do one thing or the other. The E75 over there is going to get absolutely murdered. Leo, oof, that was a miss. He can't shoot the IS-7. Now he's 3 versus 4. He's still full health, so I'm not really worried. Of course, there's also it's butt pedals. These guys are not the most intelligent players around, so you can afford to be a little bit more risky. Yeah, it's probably the Leo in the base. I need to look at the CPU thing of my laptop, to be fair, because it's actually this is a gaming laptop and it's been running perfectly fine for a lot of time, but recently the CPU is having some issues, so something somewhere is not really going as intended. So let's see. Ooh, there's D54. And now he takes a shot in order to get the kill. Which is a good thing in this case, because that's a gun out of the way. And again, Shogun is pretty much the guy to watch here, but they're all... Oh, no they're not. That is a big hit to take. Chieftain, of course, very lovely tank as well. It is one of the few times that I was really lucky with a crate. There goes Shogun. I got it on the second crate, and that was very, very lucky. This is the cheapest tier 10 that I've ever bought, because the T22 cost me a heck lot more. I'm not going to be streaming NA tonight, Toby. That is basically wargaming messing up the description of this. Fishy, not fizzy. Different kind. But I'll grab a link from him and I'll post it on my server after the stream so that you can watch it for NA tonight. I actually really am glad that NA is getting more coverage these days, and that it's not just me like for the Asia server. And Fishy is of course a competitive player himself, so he knows what he's talking about. And there you go. And his friend is wanting to help. See, now he's clipped him and he just needs to reload one more shell in order to finish him off. Which he can hopefully do with... Oh no, he does get shot for it. But now there's only one guy left. They don't have all that much time. But it's a chieftain, so they know where he is. At least no, I think. Yeah, it is. I'm not good with the tank silhouettes. So they kind of need to be careful. We are 5.5k's in. Oh, Toby, I'm so going to show the pew pew tank. Leo can get a cheat. Now he's full clipped. This is not really the advice you want to. Ah, kudos for that one. Just actually doing that. That is fun. That's cool. He takes the hit to draw the chieftain in, so that the Leo can get a shot in as well. But it's actually nice little ram kill there. That is just, yeah. That is one way to do it. But yeah, the guy that streams NA is Fishy. And the guy that is basically moderating my stream is Fizzy. Different guy. But 6.7k ace for Rashford, with some friendly advice as to which tank to buy in the meantime. Some friendly advice to his teammate as well. 1609 base XP. Overall, very nicely done. These are the kind of games that I love, and it shows exactly the strengths of the spaghetti. So that is the first replay out of the way. We will not have an opponent yet, so I'm not going to be checking that. But I have a replay in a tank that needs a little bit of explanation. Because, God, I'm so bad at this. I think it's tier 8. Yes, it is. If you have this tank, you can get upgrades. And most people will go for this gun. I want this one. Thing is though, this is of course much worse. You can also see the pen. But if you go for this gun, you get 7 points more APCR pen. And it's APCR in... which is, well, that doesn't really matter. Both guns have that. Your reload time gets lower. You do less damage per shot, but you get a lot more shots overall. It is lighter, dispersion is better, and damage per minute goes up a little bit, and all of that. Basically, this is a pew pew gun. I drive this tank with the pew pew gun. A lot of people choose this gun, and as you can see, my press account has it automatically selected for this tank. But this is, for me, the gun to go. And this is actually really funny, because we were on stream. I'm actually going to take back my Sheridan for obvious reasons. Toby, Fizzy, was playing the Panther 2 and struggling in it, so I was telling him to take the other gun. And he was like, nah. And then he switched it. And basically this is the battle that followed then. So let's have a look. Oh, it's actually on Ubay. Praise be to the donut. Hello everyone that is watching, by the way. But let's see how this will go. But yeah, like I said, for most tanks, the top gun will be the one to go. But there are a few instances where this, in my opinion, is not the way to go. And Panther 2 is one of them. And yeah, you'll see why. The gun is huge, by the way. Look at that. But just the way that you can load shots into people and everything, I just love it. Dr. God of Fields. That is sounding very promising. Here we go. Nice little capping of the base. But yeah, this is actually, you can't take the Panther 2 in ratings with this gun, because it's not listed as a top gun. Which I think is not good, because, yeah, like I said, in my opinion, this gun works better. Or at least, when I drive it, I much prefer this gun. So I'm just kind of curious what happened, because except for 1 or 2 exceptions, I don't watch the replays before I show them, because I want reactions that I have to be genuine. So far, basically, mostly base capping, a little bit of shooting on the other side of the battlefield. But both Jono and Toby have done absolutely nothing. So let's see. Also, Mud just said something, but I'm gonna save that for the end of the stream, or the endish of the stream. Now, what they're doing here is not necessarily the best way to go, because they are going into the path of the enemy. They're just not being focused yet, so that's lucky. Basically, you can just chase a tank like this and just repeatedly shoot it. It would help if you did not miss, though. There are reasons that I prefer also shooting HE. That can... that works. Overall, though, they're not doing all that good just yet, so I'm kind of curious how this will happen. And they have to be careful. Nice, but they also took a shot back. This is actually a nice troll position to be in, because people are very likely to basically shoot the ridge rather than you. But just look at that reload; it's going so fast, and even if you don't do like a lot of damage per shot, you basically eat away at them. And that was a fire. But imagine if you... I don't know why he's not carrying it, to be fair. Imagine using adrenaline while using this gun. There's only 3 guys left. He should have this. There we go. And Jono arriving a little bit late. But we have a Super Pershing heading their way. But versus a Spaghetti 46. And now the Super Pershing is making the big mistake of focusing on the tank in front of him, even though now he is definitely a one-shot. So this did not really go as intended. That was a very important shot, and that is a very important kill. Basically, the IS-3 will be dead because he can only shoot them one at a time. And he's waiting for them to show themselves. There we go. He's not gonna reload in time. But yeah, imagine this gun with adrenaline. It does epic things. This is basically what I mean. The pen is slightly better. At least the pen is better in the APCR division. And I prefer to look at the total pen used. So that was a nice little ace. A bit cheeky with 404 supremacy points. Kind of have to look now how many points Jono got, because they kept... it doesn't actually show that here. That is ridiculous though. So yeah. That is a nice little battle as well. With the pew pew gun. And let's see, what else can I show you? I have so many replays. And it's kind of hard to decide which one to show. And there's a few that I actually want to save until later. Because, yeah, some of the games are epic. I actually got sent a tournament replay not long ago. And it's a tournament replay between Vil and Imol. And I asked Zerd, because he's the one that showed me. Because like, oh my god, what the fuck, look at this. I asked him if I could show it, because it's actually such an epic game. And it's just awesome. Good luck, Juicy. You don't need it, but good luck. Let's see. Do we have an opponent yet? We are in group 3. Vil is... well, I don't think they had a match either. Ukraine F. That's going to be interesting to see. And we are going to go to... Winter Marinovka. But yeah, we still have a bit of time before then. About 15 minutes. I'm gonna be showing you at least one other replay before you're stuck just listening to me talk. And let's see. This is actually a tank that I still need to... well, I still need to run most of this line, to be fair. A tank that I still need to play myself. and I'm not looking forward to it. Basically, the thing is that I don't like this line, and the tortoise, yeah, it can be okay, but overall I've killed way too many way too easily. And I kind of just probably want to freak speed the whole thing. But right now I'm actually using some of the ×5 certificates to get some grinding in, and I'm going for the 113. It has camo that looks absolutely amazing, the legendary camo, so that is one reason that I want it. And it's a really good tank, and I've seen it being played so much in tournaments over the years. So it's still consistently good, and I want to get a feel for it to have more of an understanding of the tank itself. Yes, I have a press account, but it's quite different when you drive it on your own account. For some reason, it just works differently. Nice of him to stand still like that and let him shoot. But yeah, this tank, it is slow. And if you look at the back of this tank, well, actually, has been changed. But it kind of looks like it says SS, but then mirrored. So there we go, we have the 268 there. Who also gets a nice little shot in. The Hori is not looking too healthy here. And we have a 704 who's also taking a shot. But basically you have this huge cupola and your cheeks can be penned and all of it. This is... I'm not that big a fan of this tank because of that. I like that he's driving it very forwards though, because I'm not a fan of campy tanking. And this guy is doing anything but that. So massive kudos to him for that. He just needs to be a little bit careful. Oh, that is a big hit to take. And that is those weaknesses, because the 268 barely aimed. The E1 is going completely YOLO. 704 gets a hit for his troubles. But he kind of has to be careful at this stage, because that cupola is such a big weakness. And the reason he's not that yet is because they're mainly focusing on the other tanks. And that was an HE derp. He would have been better off killing off. That is better. And that was lucky. But he's done quite some damage. This is not, it's not a bad tank, but I wouldn't enjoy it much. He has to be careful of the scent. Oof. That's a nice little bounce. 268 is moving around again. Nice. 704 has been taken out, but he is getting a lot of help from his team. I have to give them some credit as well. His team is in the right spot at the right time, doing the right things. You can't really shoot him. Ooh. I think the waffle missed. But he now has to be quite careful. He's not dealing 5k damage though. But yeah, like I said, I'm a really lazy grinder. I hate grinding. I find it incredibly tedious and boring. I just want the tanks and I want to drive them whenever I want. So I basically have been... I always free XP all the parts because I refuse to drive anything stock. Someone just did 4 damage to the object 268. So let's see. Batchet is still... The waffle is still there. He's basically getting an impasse now. They are winning on points, so there's no actual pressure on their side. But he kind of has to do something. Is he going to be able to do this though? Oh, yes he is. Oh! And now we only have that 268 left, and at this stage he doesn't have to be careful. There you go. So overall, like I said, it's not that great a tank, and he's mainly gotten lucky with... There we go. with his team being as it is, because this is, to be fair, has been a really great team. They have helped, they've been the primary target, and that just allowed this Oliver sniper to basically lay all the damage into them. 6.3k damage, 1624 base XP. And the only supremacy points that he got were for that one kill that he has. Object 268 on the other side. Not doing too shabby either. He's probably not going to be happy at that. So now in 10 minutes we will get the start of the tournament battle. So that means that in 5 minutes the room will be up. That means that I cannot show you another view. Well, technically I can. I just never take that risk. So I'm going to be talking with you a little bit about stuff. Actually don't know what stuff though. I miss Brian. I miss having him stream. But I'm glad that we have some other streamers stepping up to basically give more coverage, because I love streaming, and I do it because I get a front row seat and because I just enjoy being able to watch this. And I still don't understand why people actually watch these streams, because personally I kind of detest watching YouTube and I find that basically just as boring as grinding. But I did enjoy watching Brian's streams, and that is saying something for me. So I would actually, when I could and my stream would end, I would tune into him and see what happens. But yeah, I love streaming the tournaments, and I love that there's more coverage happening, and I actually like that Wargaming is also putting more links, because you see 3, but every good name is taken is also streaming. I'm not streaming Rain, that is basically a mess up on Wargaming side. Migas is Ninja, he is streaming APA in English, not in Polish, because he actually pulled it on his channel to see. Then you have Fugit, who is of course a more or less a veteran streamer, who's also streaming this season again. I really love it. I think it's his very first time, so that he's going to be a little bit nervous, but he's streaming EG tonight, so that's definitely one to watch as well. And I like that there's more streamers coming, and that Wargaming is letting more people stream, because I'm only one person. I can only stream one team at a time. Well, basically 2, because there's an enemy. But you know exactly what I mean. I can only stream one team at a time. And teams deserve so much more coverage. Not every team enjoys being streamed, but at the same time it allows them to see how epic they are and let other people see how epic they are. It also lets them look back, see what enemies have done and where the weakness in their own tactics are. And that is invaluable. I remember that when I watched RTK a lot over the last couple of years, they always watched back these streams, not like the whole stream, but like the battles of the stream, to see exactly what had happened and where it had happened. And that is something that is, in my opinion, a very good thing, because you can learn so much from it. The reason that I make the videos that I do, generally focusing on epic losses and epic draws, well, not recently, I'm so behind on videos, but yeah, the reason I do that is because I feel that people will learn more from it. Because if people win, they kind of make mistakes, and I can point them out, and people will be like, yeah, but why are you even saying that? He won, didn't he? But that's the difference between a pro player and a beginning player. A pro player will know exactly where he went wrong in the battle. It could have still been the decision with the knowledge at the time to make in order to get it done, and basically the best decision he could make, but they will know exactly where it went wrong. And that is also what I focus on when I'm streaming tournaments. I'm not about the text things. I'm not about, you can look at this and I will I could for other tanks I could compare guns and I could tell you like that pen is better, so I go with that. Because that is what I look at, because I feel that the easier it is for me to hit someone, the less risk I need to take in order to get that shot out. But I don't know how many millimeters armor someone has. I don't know where I can generally guess where I can HE someone and when I can HE someone with the gun that I have on the tank that I'm driving. But overall, I don't know those things. And I'm not interested to know those things. I like the game for the tactical gameplay that it offers me. I like the game for the basically shooting people. There's a room. There we go. But I just don't like the whole technical bit of it. I like as in all the numbers and all of that. I never pay attention to it. That is why also in the tournament streams that I do, I tend to focus on what is happening and what needs to happen. Because you can see the battle develop, and if even one person watches my streams and basically goes out in randoms and is like, fuck, that's right, and starts recognizing his own patterns, then that's a victory. And that is what I try to focus on. I try to not necessarily just say what happens, but also why it happens. I feel people learn a lot more from that than from Stone Cold tank facts. That is also why I never focus on that in any sort of review thing that I do. Because you can look those up. You don't need me to tell you that. But I can tell you the mouse has strong armor. I can't tell you how much millimeter it is. But yeah. Enough with that. We have about 3.5 minutes left to go before we go into the battle. And like I said, we are back with Legion. Of course, by now I know that Ziegenfreude is actually Juicy Tender Steak. He changed his name. And I believe he's a temporary guest at the Legion side. But he is an epic player. Also has a YouTube channel, so definitely check that out as well. And there's just basically, I love this. The reason that I love streaming tournaments is because I can't brain properly. Concentrating is very difficult for me right now, and I sometimes really struggle with finding words, but I try to explain it the best I can. I love streaming tournaments because it's basically the game living up to its fullest expectations. Because if you are in a battle and someone you are in it soon, that means you have one teammate that knows what he's doing. You don't know what your other 5 teammates are gonna do. When you have a tournament battle, you see the full potential, because that is 7 players coordinating together. In this case, also being on voice together, having a singular goal, having a plan and everything. It is, yeah, like I said, it's the full potential of the game. And that is why I really love streaming tournaments, because it shows exactly that. So yeah, just over 2 minutes left to go. My cough drop is almost gone. I have such a cold, it's bad. It's no corona, because I've had it for literal months and months and months. Which is also to do with my lovely health, which is not very lovely. But it also means I tend to go into get an itchy throat when I'm streaming. So I've taken to basically eating cough drops the whole stream. Any stream, every stream. So, a minute and a half left to go. Both teams are there. Both teams are ready except for Nick now. But we see Ukraine F that is ready with 3 IS-4s, 2 mice, a 215B and Opti 140s. That is a pretty slow lineup. But Legion's lineup isn't all that much faster, because we see an E100, a mouse, a Sherry, 2 IS-4s and 2 E5s. Of course, with the speed boost, the E5s can get around quite quickly. This is also something. Brian is better at this stuff at estimating where people will go with such lineups, and that's also part of the technical stuff. He is better at that than I am. Way better. I don't know those things, but I'm also like, I'm guessing that they're gonna go base B and C with this lineup. Both teams, to be fair. But if you are a team, you can pretty much go anywhere with any lineup and make it work. So that is, for me, I always like look at where they're going when the battle actually begins. So that is basically my little talk about that. And I'm actually finding that I'm a little bit nervous, and I think that's mostly to do with this is the last non-ticketed Ascent Tournament. And it's like it's almost a month has been gone already with just tournaments, and I've had no weekends, because Saturday I streamed 3 times at 1 PM, 8 PM and 3 AM. So my Saturday is spent streaming and my Sunday is spent dead. But it's just great fun to do. And here we go into the first battle. we go. Seven different avatars, by the way. I kind of like that. That is the kind of thing I do pay attention to, which is probably not like a good thing. Oh, there's no donut here though, Eggy. Oh, why you have to be that? So Angie is spotting. Juicy gets stalled off. No one is down below though. We see first shots happening, but no damage being done yet. Well, except for the 140, who took a big hit. Eggy holding in the middle. He has a team around, but they're pretty spread out. But this is sort of like a potential pincer movement happening. They need to be careful though, because it's still mice and they will have a lot of armor. But Legion has a base, so they will have about a tank's worth of point advantage. But now base B is being kept, and that is the tricky part. That is something that they will need. They need to decap it, at the same time they can't. So they just kind of have to eat away at the health of the people in the middle. This is not a good position for Ukraine to be in. Because if you look at this, they are pushing on Eggy now with 3 tanks. But they are losing quite a bit of health as they are moving around. And Eggy is a mouse, so he is definitely getting hurt, but so are the guys that are shooting him. Now they're getting around him, and Eggy's not going to be long for this world. And there he goes, but look at them. Object 3 now, almost reloaded, getting a big hit in, but taking one in turn. There goes one mouse, we have another mouse being rushed, and Ukraine is actually playing pretty decently. Object 3 now basically being singled out. This is what they are basically doing a very good job in singling out the tanks. Object 3 has been taken out. They are focusing on Cedric. Ventium went straight on in and is now being focused out. He's basically giving them a free target. And Legion will need to work together closely. Eggy takes out the 140. The mouse almost dead, there he goes, but Ventium as well. Both teams have lost 3 guns, but there's one very low HP. There was one very low HP. IS-4. Base B has been stolen, base C is being stolen, Eggy is taking that. Whoopsie, not looking all too healthy now, but they still have a gun advantage. And they are just playing it carefully. With 3 bases, they basically now just have to hold. And Eggy is free to get a shot. And he has been spotted though. The 215B is not going to be happy where he is right now. I'm actually going to try and show you both sides. There we go. Massive hit into the FV. And with 3 bases, basically Legion has no worries here. We have Darkadas moving in. Whoopsie holding back, being careful. We see NG. Ooh! There was a derp. Darkadas taking massive hits here. But Ziegenfreude, Juicy takes him out. And Legion wins on points. Because this is the thing. Ukraine had the point advantage, but then they left the bases and didn't defend them anymore. And so they lost. I have to commend them though for singling out Legion targets and taking them out. Ventium did not have to die here. He basically went in to help his teammate, but got killed for it because then he was the one that was alone and singled out. So a minute and a half left to go before we go into the second match. And we see that Legion is now taking an E100, 2 IS4s, a mouse, a Sheridan, and 2 E5s. I think that we have seen that lineup before, like literally last battle. And they're going to go up against 3 IS4s, 2 mice, a 215B, and a 140. It's almost like it's a repeat, only we got different spawns this time, so different things can happen. And I wonder if Ukraine F is going to try and do the same thing again. Let's see, 50 seconds left to go. We still have a little bit of time. Stream overall is looking nice and good, so that is perfect. This is basically always the boring part, the part before the battles where everyone is ready and you're just waiting for the battle to actually start. But yeah. I'm kind of wondering what is going to happen with the professionals. Also wondering what FBI is doing tonight. Because basically they are making it so that Wargame is actually changing the rules so that they can't pull what they pulled last week. And here we go. Dun, 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 dun. There we go. And again, 7 different avatars. And I've been saying it wrong all battle. Last battle. Eggy's was in the mouse, NG was the spotter in the sherry. That's like if you have any letter difference. That's not gonna go well. Both epic players have been in the game since like pretty much forever. And have been in a competitive scene since pretty much forever. Eggy is actually a transfer from PC, if I remember right. And so his account is actually not a reroll. But he's just always been epic because he knew the basics from PC. Eggy with the Legion camo on the mouse. Driving in. Going into a pretty forwards position, which could be a little bit of a risk, but we have the E5s and the IS-4s in the middle. We see a missile flying. Ooh, that was close though. Base B not being decapped. But we see the 140 losing a little bit of HP here. And again we are in a similar situation where Ukraine has the base advantage. But are steadily losing HP. Let's see what's going to happen. We see some crossfire here. A little bit, tiny bit of HP being lost by the mouse there. 2 and 5B crossing over. Everything crossing over is very expensive if you do that right now. Angie losing a little bit of HP there. And Legion is playing it more carefully this time around, which I think is a good call because, yeah, it did work out in the last battle. Let's see. Angie moving, firing a missile. And that one bent. Object 3 on the other side losing a little bit of HP. We have more crossfire going on. The 2 and 5B staying behind the building. But it only just means that other people are getting shot instead. The mice are trying to angle towards multiple locations. Dagodas takes a hit as he goes. Eggy pushing up and over. We have Legion moving in steadily. Wanting to take out that 2 and 5B and the mouse in the middle. And there goes the 2 and 5B. Dagodas takes him out, takes a hit for it, but he has the HP to spare. Base B is being capped. The mouse is not going to survive this. And we have one mouse that is basically busy hugging Juicy. Dagodas not looking too healthy. He does take another shot before he gets killed though. But by now Ukraine F has already lost 3 tanks. And ooh, that was a nice double tap. And there we go. Now there's only 3 tanks left. There's only 2 tanks left. Basically I can just call the numbers and it will be counting for beginners. Again, base C is also being capped. Legion taking basically, this is a repeat of last battle. Can't put it any other way. And Dimas is not going to survive much longer. Especially not when he's, there you go, showing his side to some guns like that. And now we only have 1 mouse left. And again, there's people surviving. Oh, no, no. Nick takes him out. But this was basically a repeat, exact repeat of the last battle. But Legion played more patiently, pushed more patiently, and that to me is the strength of the teams that have been around for a very long time, and Legion definitely counts for that because they've been around since the literal very first Twister that we had. Basically the teams that have been around that are used to the competitive scene, that are pro and epic at it, they Sorry. Seeing the chat. But yeah, they have been around and they play patiently. So that is something that is just something that shows really in their battles. So that was the first matchup of this evening. Let's see, do we know who we are up against next yet? In the meantime, I see Brian appearing in the chat. Hello, Brian! And basically you are missed, dude. It's kind of weird though, because I kind of have to find my own way. This is sounding so bad, but like before, with the tournaments and everything, I would chat to Brian about everything that's happening and all the drama that was happening. And basically everything. We would talk about the streams and talk about how it went and all of that. And that's just also something that's now gone. And that's so weird. But yeah, in about 20 minutes we are up against mates on my favorite map, Faust. So I'm quickly going to start a replay for you guys, and I'm going to look at all the brackets to see how this is going. Anaheim on the other side, I have to point this out. Look at this team name, Rolling Forever. So that is something to keep in mind as well. This is funny. There's a guy in the chat with the name Are We There Yet? That is talking about how Legion used to be way better at Twister and now it's like a brand new roster. Players have changed, but I will actually point out that the players... let's go back. People that have been in Legion from the very beginning are Angie and Eggy. Whoopsie was there, has been in RTK and has been in EG and has been around a bit. And basically Object 3 is same thing. Ventium used to have a different name, used to be an unknown, is now in Legion, but pretty much all of these guys have a very long tournament history. And the only thing that I'm not certain about is Juicy actually, whether or not he's played a lot of tournaments before, but overall they have been around for a very long time. And yes, the teams do mutate because people are like not necessarily primary team for one clan, so they move to another, become primary teammate there and everything. And that's something to keep in mind as well. But most of the guys, they have like sort of, they move around, but they will come back. Let's see, I'm going to show you a fun little battle that I've seen the results of, and I'm like, how did that happen? And it's by our very own Shell Magnet, who is also a moderator in my chat. But yeah, I think you can only judge a tournament group as being bad or good when you've actually tried tournaments yourself. SDI is one of the tanks that I'm actually quite enjoying. It is one of the very few tanks that I ever took out stock. And I aced it in the very first battle. Which is still something that surprises me. Oh my god, this guy, the name of the T28 Defender, seriously? Diarrhea Express, yeah, then you have some issues though. Let's see. But yeah, I aced it the very first battle. I was on Fort Despair, ran around a lot. Got some bases, and I think it was a Kodo. But yeah. Shelly not exactly happy with what is happening here. And it looks like if you see a heavy going into a location, you're pretty much gonna be known. You should know that most of the team will be in that direction then. We do see some shots happening on the other side. Jungly Monkey. That is also a special name. There you go. First shot in. Ammo rack damaged. He does fix it though, but it always helps against the reloading that a tank can do. But still missiles, so he has to be careful. Let's see. That did hit. You could hear it hit. But one of the things is that you saw that the viewfinder got knocked out, which generally can help a lot with making a tank hard to... oh, they're pushing over. Making a tank hard to hit, because their accuracy will be off a lot. The standard B is not doing all too good. Shelly getting hit in the bum. So they know that there's someone behind there. At the same time, he does not really have the luxury to focus on that. Ooh, that could have been an expensive miss. Basically, everyone is looking in their direction. And you can just farm it. Standard B, very lucky bounce there. Standard B is pretty much one of my favorite tanks, if not the favorite tank that I have right now. He wants to take the gun out of the way. And that is a good call. And he needs to keep his Standard B alive, which is not going to go happen easily when he peeks out like that, and he's the preferred target. He does track him though, and that might have saved his teammates here. And that bounce though. And I like that Shelly's actually looking around, trying to protect his teammate. Let's see. There you go, that is how you do it. Nice little double tap. And now Shy did take a hit, but that is a nice little bounce too. And he's kind of gonna need some help. Standard... Oh, no, that is the end of the Standard B. You could tell. This guy needs to be dead. Team finally gets a kill in, but that means that Shelly is losing a little bit more HP. And he's focusing on the Tortoise here, because Tortoise is the bigger gun. Team-wise, this is like a team of potatoes, as if I've never seen potatoes. It is special. Nice high roll there. And we are near... Oh, there goes the Diarrhea Express. By Bram the Fastest in Dutch. Oh my god. Let's see. He kinda needs to take out the one shots here. Here, there's only one left though. There we go. 2 guys left versus 3. Tiger 2 actually made an appearance. And ooh, that defender is still full health. 4.6k damage, that is something that I would definitely be happy in any tier 9, to be fair. In this case, he could definitely use the... No, he derped that. But you can use the Tortoise Corpse right in front of you to hide your lower front plate. But now the T28 defender is pulling back. There's the T49. Tiger 2 is not going to survive that. Or he is. Or he's not. And we are 5k damage into it. Now this is something he needs to aim carefully. There you go. And this is what I mean. He has to be careful with the slope though, not to show his roof. And he could potentially have this, but with the T95 probably being AFK, he kind of needs to be extra careful, because if he dies now... Nice bounce. There you go. Now you can go in, which is exactly what Shelly is doing. This is textbook. He has to be careful, but he can do it. He can take another shot. He just has to make sure that the shot that he takes is going to pan. This is also why he's also choosing Pramo here, which I really like, because it makes people juicy and you can murder them easily. If you're sure that you can make a kill shot with Pramo, do that, because then you're just less likely that it will bounce. Very epic ace, 6.1k damage in the T9 tank. That is insane. 1454 base XP. A very useless T95 in his team. 1 hit, 1 bounce, but overall very epically done, and some nice bounces on his side as well. In the meantime, I'm getting a lot of PMs. Rest assured, I will check them, but I will check them after the stream. I don't go into Discord while streaming. Except for this time. Every was having some issues. Because he had some FPS drops. But he got it sorted, so that is good. Let's see. What do I have for you? Let's actually quickly check when the next battle is, because I don't know this by head. Come on, there you go. This is also what I mean with my memory being absolutely crap. Because I'm not keeping track of this. 804. That is... No, yeah, I will risk another replay. Let's see. Let's show you this one then. Dun 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 dun. Again, a Toby-Jono combination, but now we are driving the RU, and he has the bats. I love the bats. Dun 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 dun. This is a tank that I really struggled with when I first got it. I did not perform well in it at all. And basically it took me some time to figure it out, and then I aced it 3 times in a day. And aced it a few more times. But basically it's a lovely tank, and I really enjoy it now. But it's sort of like you have to get the neck of it. You have to get that feel of it as to what you need to do. He is not going for the base, he's going straight up the citadel. Let's see. It is a very juicy tank. This is not necessarily the direction that I would go in, because it is very easy to get derped a lot. And shooting the cover is not going to help you. CDC is not focusing on him at all though, which is a good thing. Now he seems to be noticing that there's an RU there. And it should be John, I think that... Oh, no. There we go. That's the first one out. But there's a Pantera there and a super pushing down below. If you're driving back and forth on the hilly area and you're not aiming, you are definitely not going to be hitting. Jono not looking too healthy here. Losing more HP. He has to be careful. He gets a bit lucky there, but there he goes. With the IS-3 capping base B, but base A is theirs. He does get spotted for his troubles though. Oof, nice little roof shot. But yeah, he does have to be a little bit careful. Still plenty of health left on his side. And we have the IS-3 behind there, but he's not in any position to shoot Toby yet. No, the Pantera is too busy camping. He doesn't do the whole help thing. That is a very cheeky shot. I like it. There we go. People are being murdered. Pantera has been murdered. And basically now he's taking a position that I much more approve of. That is shooting the ground. Don't go down though. Oh my god, he's actually gonna make that. He just has to make sure that every shot counts and does not hit the ground. And he's lucky that the IS-3 is focused on his teammates in this case. That is a bounce. Toby, you need to sniper mode more. Because you're actually derping shots that you shouldn't derp. This is nice, changing targets mid focus basically. Basically he's playing a bit impatiently. And there's no need for him to do that. KV4 almost dead, but still, oh, there he goes. We have a suit over there. That is the end of the suit, and now there's only the Pantera. So we are 3k damage into it. Oh, and that was a kill steal. 4 kills though, 3.8k damage is definitely a good one. But it would have been higher if he'd taken a little bit more patience with his shots and aiming. 160 supremacy points purely off kills. And we are still in time for the room. I like that. But basically now we wait. Not much to talk about just yet. Hang on. I need to see this with my own eyes. Because a little birdie just told me that, and I have no idea what group they're in, that raid has been knocked out. Let's see. No, they are knocked out, but they do have a ticket, I think. And we are going to Faust. Let's see, I'm just gonna go quick look in the Blitz assistant. Let's see. Because isn't it the top 8 that gets ticket? Let's check that. You can win participations. Tickets. Top 4? No, actually not top 8, it's top 4. I should have known that. Come on. There we go. But that means raid did not qualify for Saturday. And that can be a huge difference. But overall, I'm just gonna have a quick look at the leaderboard. They're second, so it doesn't really matter for them. They are through to the professionals, but it could mean a big change to the top 8. So that is a very interesting thing. Three and a half minutes left to go. I'm gonna have a quick look. We still have in group 6. There's 6 groups in total. It's Souls versus Kraken S and WW versus Win. Sorry to WW who just knocked out Raid, but I am rooting for Win. Then we have Lux Noven versus Phoenix and BHPP versus Elm. In group 5. Group 4 we have EG versus FBI, APA versus Joe 46. So that is good as well. Group 3 is where we are at. We have Legion versus Mates, and on the other side we have RDX versus Anaheim. And then we have group 2 with Imor versus K4 and Veil versus the other Mates team. And group 1 shows us Loka versus Zenith and Imor versus Whip. Two and a half minutes left to go. Mates is completely ready with the T62A, 2 E5s, 3 IS4s and STB for Faust. Not a lot of mobility. And on the other side, we are still missing a player who has not been moved in. But they still have 2 minutes to get into the room and into the team. I have a feeling Legion is not going to go for a 6 versus 7 thing. But we see a 268, we see 3 IS4s potentially if Eggy is moved in. Ah, there we go, Don Vano. But yeah, we see a 268, we see 3 IS4s, an E5 and 2 AMX-50Bs. No fast tanks, no Sheridans. Could be interesting to see what they do with it. The E5s do have the speed boost though, and all heavies are relatively mobile heavies. But we'll just have to be a little bit more patient. Like I said, in a minute and a half we get to see the actual match. I do absolutely love this. I love this map. It is so much fun with the tunnels and the basically bridges. It's not like bridges, but you know what I mean. Just the height differences. It makes for really interesting gameplay, and it makes this, for me at least, one of the least predictable maps around, and that is what I love about it. I have my preferred sites for when I go in pubs, also depending on whether it's encounter or supremacy and everything. But it's just always an interesting map. And it's kind of funny as well, because most people have no idea how to play on it. Dude, don't make jokes about diseases. Honestly. Come on. "22 seconds left to go before we go into the game. I kind of still hope that we are going to be seeing New Bay, because there needs to be homage to the donut. But otherwise we'll be there in spirit. And here we go. I like, by the way, how Kiwi is always in the chat saying, "Let's go Legion," or "Let's go whoever I'm streaming if he's watching." Just to basically show his enthusiasm. And here we go. I always find it peculiar that so few tankers actually... Ooh, this looks nice. Take the legendary camos on tanks in tournaments. I'm not sure if that's just because they haven't bought it, or for other reasons. But we do see that NG is a rebel, and Object 3 is a chaser. And we see Legion focusing on the base C side. Well, not actually going into base C. None of them are going there. Base D is being kept. Juicy in the middle, in a potentially very risky position. Mates has a base, they have a point advantage here. But as they cross over, they do lose a little bit of HP there. But Legion is not playing for points here, and this is actually so annoying, just flying around like this. And now we have Mates rushing in, going for base B. The E5s in potential trouble here. Basically in the middle of a lot of the guns here, and they can't possibly defend against all. But Legion is using this to basically take out tanks fast as well. But Juicy is not going to survive this. He might get another shot in. It's actually SEO that has been lost first. What did you do? Okay, yeah, sorry about that, but Object 3, really? Both teams have lost 2 guns now. One of them basically lost itself. Danny and Secretus being taken out. Angie is not going to survive this. No, he actually is surviving that shot. Misco next in line. But there goes NG. Turret flying and all. There goes Misco. It is 4 versus 2. And Ventium loads his last shot into Cabozillo. Don Vado moving in. And now Whoopsie is a full clip. And there he goes. And now we only have Misco left. With a nearly fully loaded... There's basically a building there. And Ventium is going to take him out. And that's going to be the end of Misco. And the first match with a pretty funny moment. From Object 3 killing himself like that. Oh my god. I still can't believe Ray got knocked out. Oh my god. quick battle, just over 2.5 minutes left to go. Hello, Fugit. I'm sorry to hear your stream ended though. But oh my god, I'm rooting for win. For the top 8. They have a tough job to do though. They need to be very epic in order to make it happen. I will post a link to Fizzy's stream on my server tonight. Because I do have it available. But in 1 minute we get to go into the second match on Faust. And we see that Mates has now readied up with a T62A, 3 E5s and 3 IS4s. Versus a 268, 2 IS4s, a Sherry, 2 E5s and 1 AMX50B. I always feel that AMX50B, like all clippers to be fair, is always a bit of a risk to take because you are basically out of the game for quite a long time if you miss your shots. But if you land them all, it can be very worth it, especially if you're 2, because then you can clip a tank together, and that is just, that's brilliant. And Kiwi says, I giveth my blessing upon thee to defeat thy enemy with swiftness and power. Fucker just said, whoa, what a game between Raid versus WW. That is actually a game I'm gonna actually look back. But here we go into the second game of this matchup. And let's see what's going to happen. This is also a nice camo. I love the fantasy camo stuff. I don't mind that at all. I do hate the fantasy consumables and provisions. But I like making tanks look pretty and I like pimping my ride. So let's see. Oh, there you go. My mouse was gone for a moment. And we see that Legion again. Well, no, they're actually focusing more on the middle, a little bit more to the A side. With Object 3 going up the ramp. And Mates pushing towards base B. And basically Legion is ready for that. Getting some cheeky shots in. Bot getting shots in turn. Wanting to turn around. We have Nick at the back there. Ventium being the primary target. Misco getting shot a lot. They kind of want to take out Ventium there, but Misco is like murdered like instantly. Nick now on the drum reload. Not looking too healthy. Rest of Legion arriving at the back. Nice bounce by Nick there. Well played. And we see SCR basically steadily being deleted here. Not being able to go into cover because there's no cover for him to go to. Nick having reloaded his clip. Ventium. Oof, he does take a hit there. But he does take the gun out. He's on another drum reload, but overall Nick is the only one gone and there's 3 guns going from Mate already. Secretus not looking too healthy. We have Ramio over there. Misco going off against NG. And we have Object 3 now going in. Getting a brutal shot in. Secretus, there he goes. Misco is still losing more HP. Ventium not looking too healthy, but Danny actually driving in the way to prevent him from dying. Taking the shot here. And then killing him off. That is brutal. And now only Ramio is left. Let's give you a nice little back view as he gets tracked and absolutely massacred for his troubles. And Object 3 takes him out. Brilliant game, very fast game. Mates tried to basically be aggressive here, but Legion, this is something that I've enjoyed watching about Legion in the more serious games, because we have seen some pretty derp games. I love that they actually are generally going to positions where they can sort of like get back to each other very quickly. like support each other properly, and if someone is rushed, they're like instantly there. And that is something that a lot of people underestimate. A lot of their opponents underestimate. And that is basically what happened here. So let's see. We probably don't have a opponent yet. Oh, we do. RDX. Actually have not heard of RDX. No idea who they are. Stats wise, they are looking quite nice. They do have some pen players. We do know them and Amor. But I don't really know them. So that means that Mates is up against Anaheim in the fight for 3rd place. And let's have a quick look actually, because I forgot to look at that. 8:36. That means that's 23 minutes. So you know what that means. It is replay time again. Let's see. I'm going to save the tournament replay for during the weekend that I talked about, because that is just, it is epic. Let's see, what do we want to show you? I'm actually, Brian's probably gonna hate this, but let's have a look. This is actually, again, it is a Fizzy replay. I've shown quite a few Fizzies, but he basically did a challenge. And I want to, like, oh my god, why do you do this? But I want to show it off anyway. Because as you can see, he's not taking any APCR. He's not taking any heat. He's only carrying 40 HE shells. So I just want you to know that this was his own idea. And that he's proud of what he's done. So he ought to be spanked. Let's see. He's also going off on his own, which he's now realizing. And he's like, nope. He did get spotted there though, but he's gone away. Base A is being kept. Ooh, E75 is already gone. And I'm very curious how this will go. Tiny bit of damage there. And Toby is basically going YOLO. Because why would you play carefully, right? The thing is, if you are... What exactly are you doing? This is... I'm not a fan of HE only tanks, and if you do with a large caliber like the E100, you can generally still perform very well. But you're also putting your team back a lot. E5, heading over there. That is a big hit though. And he's still... Oh, no, he's not capping a base. Grill just fired. Oof, nice big hit and nice fire. But the T-57 Heavy takes him out. But look at that, with HE only, he's done quite a bit of damage here. Oh! Again a fire though. You kind of, this is something I like, that if you are doing something this stupid, you're at least focusing on the right targets. 3.7k damage. And he can't shoot him. Jono's going to take him out. There we go. 7 HP kill steal. With a nice little turret derp. And there's a corpse there. He does take a hit for that. But this is the only guy left. Seriously though. And Jono takes him out. And that is 4.5k damage on a city map in a light tank shooting only HE. This tank is so balanced. And if you are imagining that word, imagine it with the small letter capital, small capital, etc. Second class but a high caliber. And I mainly wanted to show it because of the memes. Because that is just bad. 8 shot, 4.5k damage. HE only. He got really lucky because no one was shooting at him. So let's see, what else have I got for you? Because we have some more time. I'm saving the other Rashford for Saturday. I have way too many replays. But it's kind of difficult to decide what to show because I kind of want to show all of it. And at some point I lose track of what I have shown. I'm pretty sure I have not showed this, so let's see what this is at. Oh, we have seen some close calls, but at the same time, like I said, Legion has been around a long time, and if you look at the players, even the ones that are relatively new to this specific team. Is he driving this without camo? Oof. Even the ones that that haven't been in the team for a very long time, they are still very epic players, and they have been in other teams, so they have a lot of experience. And that is something not to discount as well. Like all the this Thursday tournaments are not all that serious. Because it's only about reaching the top 4. You don't really need to do anything else. Not sure what that is all about. No, he's not switched off cameras completely because some tanks do have it. But this is worrisome. Still a bounce. Cheeto SPG arriving. He is focusing on the lower. That is a hit though. Tiebreaker is one of the few tanks that I still need. Like, not need, but still just I don't have it and I want it in my garage. For me, the primary tank to get though is the 5A. It is a tank that is highly underestimated in my opinion. It's definitely not a tournament tank, but it is such a nice tank. And I really want it. I'm a bit greedy that way. Nice of the lower to just stand there and let himself get shot. And I like this. This is something that is good. This guy, Himbra, is... Nice shot. He's taking note of where the enemy is looking. If the enemy is not looking at him, he stays where he is. Because this is the thing. If people are not looking at you, or not shooting at you, you don't need to pull back between shots all the time. Now he is being focused though. But he's done quite a bit of damage already. He's the only one looking at this side, so he has to be a little bit careful. Especially with his teammates dying very quickly. There we go. Get those guns out of the way. Borsig also gone. But especially at this stage, you have to be very careful not to miss any shots. Because his teammate is not going to survive for much longer. And he needs to make sure that fire is definitely going to be helping. Especially since he doesn't put it out. He does take that hit though. Load Premo. Load Premo. No, he's not doing that. Nice little bounce. The Sue is there. Sue needs to die very quickly. That is a bounce though. And now he's in the position that is not good for him. This is the time, there you go, that you should activate your adrenaline. I was gonna say, but that is exactly what he did. He should have this though, if he's careful with the Sue. That high roll is definitely helpful as well. He has the point advantage, he doesn't need to do anything. And he can just pull back. He doesn't need to take the risk. The Sioux will have to make a move. But you can see this is basically the impatience of gaming. Don't do it, don't risk it, you don't need to. If you do it and you lose, you're gonna be so sad. And rightfully so. Dude, you got just... This was not skill, this was luck. I'm not gonna call it anything else. But very epic game. Can't believe he actually won that though. Kolobanov, 4.7k damage in the tier 8. 1527 base XP. Only 1 kill that he did not get. 391 supremacy points. That is definitely epic. Let's see. Let's check the time again because my brain is all over the place. We are going to go to group 3. 36, so that means 13 minutes. That means I can at the very least show you one other replay. What do I have for you? I don't know if I showed this one. That's basically also the thing that I'm... The joy of having a crappy memory is that you honestly don't know whether or not you've actually shown something already. Basically, there's now a discussion in the chat. Legion is best. No, Raid is best. No, Legion is best. No, Raid is best. Let's see. T68 on mines. Like I said, I don't remember whether or not I've shown it. If I have, my apologies, but I hope you enjoy it all the same. Dun 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 dun. This does look familiar though. Thing is, I also try to be a bit sparing with my replays because I have 3 streams in the weekend. Not a shot there. Bit of a cheeky thing to do for the STB though. Rory is a tank actually. I kind of want it. T54 is gone. He has been obliterated. T54 on the other side. He is immediately getting shot for it, so that's a good thing. Basically, if someone's shooting you from there, they take priority. They need to take it out. And he does just that. Dun, dun, dun. It's actually funny because I just saw Maximov say in the chat, choose the one I sent you. Which is generally what I just did just now. E100 giving him the evil eye. But not able to shoot him. Team is suddenly disappearing now. And basically this is why I'm... God, that waffle is annoying. This is why I have... Oh, he's getting obliterated. This is what I have against the position that he is in. Because he's basically sort of like locked himself out. There's 2 waffles. So he has to be careful. And at the same time he does not have a lot of... he can't really do much here. And he supposedly has DPM and needs to actually do stuff. Big hit into the Sherry there. But now the E100 has fired and that means that Maximov can get another shot in. He's playing it very carefully, and that is a good thing, is with his teammates disappearing very quickly. But like I said, this is not a position I would put my tank in. Nice bounce there. 268 wants the E100 to come. Hori is making a move. E100 wants to do the dirty deed with Dan. Jagdtiger not happy. No idea how that panned. That wasn't even aimed. And his team is, even the campers, they're not actually shooting the waffle that is like right there. And then the waffle bounces, which is very lucky for Dan. Nice high roll as well. This is, if you can get a kill shot, do not shoot HE. AP flies faster, is a much safer way to do it. And now the 268 wants help, even though he's been camping the whole game. And the Hori is looking the other way. The E100 should be primary target because he's actually playing like he has a brain. And now Dan is moving and he is taking shots for it. There you go. It is 3v3. There's Standard B and the Jagdtiger over there. And the E100 in the middle. And a corpse. Of course, no, sorry, the Jagdtiger is gone. It's the Hori that is still there. But a Standard B could potentially be trouble. Especially since he's focusing on Dan. Nice hit though. And this is basically, if that guy had had any more brain, this might have gone very, very differently. He needs to be careful with that E100 though. He can't really move from where he is. Let's see. Sheridan moving around the back. And he's moving up a building. Sheridan basically getting murdered. And now he has to be careful again. 7.5k damage done so far. Sheridan has been taken out. He needs to make a move. He can afford to take a shot. As long as he takes out the Hori before the E100 reloads. Oh, that is not how you do it. And that is the end of Dan. So now we have a 268. That is still in the same position that he has been all freaking battle. And that is the end of the E100 at least. But now we still have a Hori. Now I'm pretty sure that was not what he was doing. FCM? He kinda needs to make a move though. He only has 30 seconds left. There you go. There's the Hori. And now they're both one shot. This is the thing. He is being careful. He does not need to be careful. The Hori just fired. That means he has X amount of seconds before the Hori can fire again. He does make it work though. But yeah, he does need a bit of a brain. $1,842 basic speed, 7.8, nearly 7.9k damage. That is definitely epic. And the object 268, yeah. Let's see, we have a room. And we have a Legion versus RDX. And let's actually have a look. Win is through to the finals. They are up against Souls. WW is up against Kraken S for Group 6. Group 5 is Phoenix versus BHPP and Alum versus Lux Novum. And then we have Group 4 which is EG versus Joe 46 and Appa versus FBI. That means that Appa has lost to Joe 46. That is interesting. Well, group 3 is where we are at. So we have Legion versus RDX and Anaheim versus Mates, but you already knew that part. In group 2 we see Imor versus Phil for the finals and Mates versus K4, which is basically FBI apparently. And we have Loka versus Whip and Imor versus Zenith in group 1, with Loka and Whip being in the finals. So less than 3 minutes to go. Legion still missing a player. I have a feeling NG is not going to be taking the standard B. And we have RDX ready in a 268, 3 E5s, 2 T62As, well 3 T62As actually. That is a lot of mobility, especially with the speed boost. So I have a feeling with a lineup like this that we're going to see a push somewhere. And I have a feeling that when they see that lineup, that Legion will deduce the same. Yes, give Kiwi donuts. Two minutes left to go. Plenty of time to decide on lineups and all of that. This is always like I said, this is the boring part. Where we are ready. Well, basically, Legion isn't ready yet, so it's kind of good that they have the time. But we are going to Desert Sands. Desert Sands, of course, I prefer much the desert side. I feel the positions are a lot better, but super heavies can work wonders in the town. We generally see action in the desert and then people at the train tracks shooting people in the desert or in the city, basically both. Lineups are steadily being changed. There's no real pressure on this tournament because, like I said, they already have the ticket. It is not even a ticketed tournament, and Legion is very steady in third place, sorry. So they don't need to worry about anything. Raid not qualifying though today is going to potentially make it so that Legion is going to take second place. It might change the whole top 8. There's people trolling in the chat. Kiwi's just the legend of the EU server. They are the myth. Even just for your great cheerleader Legion, it is lovely to stream you guys. Half a minute left to go, and Legion has ready up in a T22 medium, a spaghetti, 2 113s, 2 E5s, and a sherry. So that is a very mobile lineup, and it will be interesting to see what they do with that. Yeah, these are kind of the games that are, there we go, that I potentially do it for, because it's a very interesting lineup. And again, you can go anywhere with any lineup if you're a team, but I do feel that we're going to see desert action here. And let's see what they're going to do with it. No legendary camo here. Well, any of the tanks actually. Spaghetti is pretty much the sexiest tank ever though in the legendary camo. And let's see. We see RDX spreading out a little bit across the desert. The heavies going towards the middle. I have a feeling that they're gonna... Ooh, Nick, you don't want to go there. And he proxy spots them. Very smart move. And immediately, NG losing some HP there. But the E5s do as well. Whoops, now in trouble. Running off though. Firing a missile but not penning. And trying to get to safety. He is tracking himself as he jumps over that hill. That is not going to be good. 268 on the other side has been losing a lot of health crossing over. Nick is still alive, but there he goes. He has been taken out. But, ooh, camera. Sorry, my keyboard is derping. Norbix still alive somehow. Don't know how. And my... What the f... Guys, my mouse is just... This is camera lag. I'm so sorry. I have no idea what's going on. Dakida's now sadly being destroyed. Legion has already lost 2 tanks. RDX, this is definitely a clan I've never heard of before, but they're doing really nice. Dakida's is gone. Putin Imor has been taken out. Ziegenfreude not looking too healthy. We see tanks now dropping on both sides, but there's a gun advantage to RDX, so they have to be careful with that. Don Vano is reloading. They need to take out the T-62A. And Don Vano does take a shot for that. And then he misses, and that is very vital at this point. Don Vano losing more HP. Engie has been taken out. That shot did not pan. Don Vano in trouble. Eggy getting basically massacred. And this is if he is taken out. But if that shot had not bounced, it could have been so different. I'm glad my mouse is working like normal again. I have no idea what happened there. But they are bullying Eggy. And there he goes. He even loses his head. Very clever gameplay by RDX. And Legion just not basically having some very derpy shot. If Don Vano had actually managed to kill the T-62A and then help Eggy, it might have been different. But in this case, it did not work out at all. No idea what happened with my camera there. It's happened a few times this last week. And I don't understand why. So that's, like I said, I need to look at my laptop. I have no idea what's going on with it. 1.5 minutes left to go before we go into the second match. With RDX taking 4 T-62As now, leaving the object 268 behind. And 3 E5s. And they're going to go up against a T-22 medium. 2 E5s, 2 113s, an Object 140 and a Sherry. So that's also a slightly different lineup on Legion's side. But it will be interesting to see what happens here. I think that if Nick hadn't, hadn't tracked himself jumping over that little sandhill near base A, it might have gone different as well. There were a few things that did not go as planned for Legion here. Let's see. 30 seconds before we go into the battle in this finals. And RDX, it's like a dog horse. But they use a very aggressive tactic. And it is working out for them. 14 seconds left before we go into the battle. It's kind of like having a lag spike on your mouse. I'm not sure what happened there. I hate it when stuff like that happens though. So here we go. Spaghetti of course could have made all the difference there, but it did not work out. So many shots bounced on the T-62A. And here we go. Up and away. RDX again focusing on the desert. The E5's not going down the middle, but straight into the desert. Nick going there to spot. The E5s have been spotted crossing over. Nick is more careful this time though. But he is on his own. And he does need to be careful. All of Legion is sticking together. Dakida's taking a shot. And basically now we have... This is... The Mets are moving in. No, they're taking a different position. If they had known that the E5s would not have been there, I wonder what Legion would have done. Because now we see Legion pushing in. Big hits into Sin there. Don Vano taking a bit of a hit. Getting tracked, taking more hits. Whoops, nasty hit there, but he does get one in. And we have the T-22 medium. Nick is the preferred target here. He is being pushed. Basically, we are entering a fuckfest now. They need to take out the tanks. That is one gun gone. Lionium is get tracked and taken out just as Nick gets taken out. Well, Don Vano next in line. RDX is getting in each other's way, but they are loose. Oop. They're losing quite a bit of HP and Legion is still arriving. Putin Immol is now gone. Legion has a gun advantage, but they need to be careful. This is basically going in Legion's favor because now they're more prepared. They're less spread out. They're all together. It is 4 versus 2. God, it's doing that again. And it is working out for Legion this time. They have 2 guns advantage. They're not going to be able to give. They're not going to give that away. And now only Andrea still full health. This is what I like about focus fire, because it's all about shooting the same target. Doesn't matter if you leave a guy with a lot of HP. Object 3 hiding behind the corpse, still getting a shot in, but surviving this battle. And we get to go to a tiebreaker. Wow. This is kind of like they regrouped, and I like that. Because RDX basically did the same thing they did last battle. So we get to go to Naval Frontier now. And I'm kind of curious what will happen, because if this is basically our RDX MMOs, mode of operation, MOO, not MMO. But if it's their mode of operation, that means that Legion needs to be ready for another aggressive push. So you can't spread out as much as you would like on this map. So just over a minute left to go before we go into the match. RDX is now ready with 4 IS-4s and 3 T-62As. They really like their T-62As. And they're going to go up against 2 IS-4s. 1 E5, a Sherry, a 113, another Sherry, and an E100. And again, there's not a lot of writing of this, but this is tiebreaker, and in the end you do want to win, so it is kind of exciting still. "36 seconds left to go before we go into the game. I'm very curious to see what will happen, because like I said, if Legion plays this more like a tactical game, and RDX goes for another, I wouldn't say a YOLO push, but like a aggressive push, it could work out against them. So let's see. 10 seconds left before we go into the battle, into the tiebreaker for the finals tonight. And Kiwi says, "I beseech the god of donut to give power to Legion to destroy the opposition." Ah, okay. Someone just said Bubblegum Pink, thank you for that. He said that RDX is a Polish clan, and some of its players used to play, for example, for Souls. That is where the Pen people come from, and of course you see also an Immor guy. But yeah, that is basically, they are competitive, the clan tag is just basically new. So let's see what is going to happen now. All of RDX is staying together, cluttered together, going towards base A. Ooh, no, they're crossing over towards base A. And all of them are spotted, which gives Legion a good idea of where they're going. That is a nice hit, and he gets it for free, which means that Legion can regroup. We have Object 3 in the IS-4, he is in trouble. RDX is pushing in, Legion needs to regroup, and they need to regroup fast. Because Object 3 is not going to survive this. He is pushing in, he is going to occupy them a little bit, but he is getting destroyed very fast. We have the IS-4 from Legion pushing in into the middle. Whoops driving down, which is not necessarily a good thing. They need to focus fire here. Sin is the first target. Object 3 has been taken out. Whoopsie is the next one in line. We have some action going on around here, but oof, there goes Nick. And Sin is still alive. Angie now the preferred target. The DPM is coming. The focus fire is there. Sin has finally been killed. But for one gun they've lost 3. And now Juicy is being murdered. They need to take out those guns. Lionium still alive. We have the T-62 Ace. Oof. It is 3 versus 6 now. Dakotas being a preferred target. Pan-Ogian losing some HP there as well. Don Vano getting tracked. This is going to be RDX's win. Too aggressive a push. Legion losing this as Object 3 was alone. And as Whoopsie went down. Don Vano, last one alive. But he's not going to survive for much longer. And there he goes. Very quick game. And this is basically... They were moving as a pack. Object 3 should have turned around straight away as soon as they were spotted crossing over like that. Like I said though, not a lot riding on it for Legion yet. They are very solid in their professionals position. Even Raid, who has been... who hasn't even qualified today for a ticket, is through. Look, 2 minutes and 16 seconds. That is nuts. So for the professionals, it is not that exciting for these guys. They are definitely through. So let's see what is going on here. Loka first, Whip second. And what is happening here? That's the joy of having a tiebreak as well. Most of the matches have already happened. So we can see what is going to go on. Emor third place, Zenith fourth. And that is group 1. Then we have group 2, Emor versus Vil. That is still going, so I need to check back later. K4 versus Whip. K4 took it home, so they are third place, and Mates is... sorry, not Whip, Mates. And Mates is fourth. That is not what I wanted to do. We are going to go to group 3. We know this one, but what happened to Rolling Forever? Rolling Forever took it home versus the other Mates team. EG, what happened here? They took it home, so it's EG first, Joe 46 or JO 46, I have no idea. Second, then we have APA and FBI. APA took that home, so FBI is fourth. But they did qualify on their own power this time, so that's something. And then we have Phoenix here, that lost to BHPP, so BHP first, Phoenix second. Elm lost to Lux Novan, so Lux Novan is third. In group 6, Wind versus Souls. Wind took it home, so they get a few more cups, and it's going to make all the difference. But Souls, basically, it's all very important at this stage, because both of them are contending for the professionals, but they need all the cups that they can get in order to take it. And then we have WW, who won versus Kraken, so they are third. And that's it. So the only one that we are waiting for, I'm actually going back to Get Easier to here. Because we are waiting for this. This is the only score we still need. And then we will see. Basically, again, it does not really matter for most of these teams. But for those contending for the top 8, which is... If the page actually loads, because I need to be very patient with my browser now. Souls, Lux Novum, Win are at 9, 10, 11 place. And FBI and Immo are listed 7 and 8 right now. So those are the players that we need to watch the most. The rest is relatively safe in their position. They don't need to worry all that much. Raid is second with 17,000 cups. There's 3,000 cups between them and place 8. So it should not matter that they didn't qualify for Saturday. They should still go through to the professionals. But you do get like 2k cups just for showing up there. So basically, if all these teams show up, that means that there's quite a few people with 16,000 cups. It might be a little bit tricky, but they should still be safe. So let's have a quick look. Again. God, everything is slow. At what is happening with Vil. Vil took it home. So Vil is first and Immo second, K4 third and the Mates fourth. So Also, just to to clarify, a lot of people are thinking that Brian, Rolling Swarm, actually quit the game. No, he has not quit the game. He's quit making content for Wargaming because Wargaming basically closed all communication and didn't want to discuss things anymore with regards to the ATGM. So yeah. So that is it for me tonight. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. I definitely did. Matches were great fun. It is interesting to see what RDX said though, because they were like there out of nowhere all of a sudden. And they gave Legion a run for their money. And basically, this is actually, for me, this is ironic. It feels ironic to say it. Legion needs to work on their absorb pushes. In this case, absorb aggressive start pushes at least. Something that Legion used to really excel in doing themselves. They made it through one Twister season pretty much going with the YOLO push every morning. Well, of course it was coordinated and like tactical, but like they were like all Object 140s and just going straight on in, DPMing the heck out of the enemy team and murdering them with the focus fire. And that is kind of what RDX did here. So yeah, like I said, that is it for me tonight. I hope you all enjoyed it. And I will be back on Saturday to stream first Asia and then EU and then later on NA. And that will be the last ticketed Ascent for the spring season. So yeah, like I said, I hope to see you then. And that is all for now. Bye bye!